Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're so glad to welcome you as part of our community tonight. Please note that this webinar is being recorded and distributed live stream. By entering this virtual meeting room, you give your consent to be recorded and distributed by Vienna Live with Simeon Moore and other third parties. If you prefer to not be recorded, please go to the LinkedIn Live video feed, the link to which I've just placed in the chat room. This show thrives on participant contributions, and all participants are encouraged to actively participate by asking questions and making comments. To do so, please write in the chat room or turn on your microphone to say hi. We'll be delighted to hear from you. Tonight, our featured guests are Jeanie Bryson, a jazz vocalist, and pianist, composer, and music producer Barry Miles, who will present us with Coleman Mellett's forthcoming posthumous album, Sing You, a brand new song.
Just as the deep blue ocean will always have waves in motion, just as the April showers bring the flowers of May, just as I'll always think of you whenever I see the morning dew under the sunshine every day. And when the leaves start changing, nature is rearranging. Soon she will make that little bug a butterfly. And when the roses bloom in June, the bluebird will sing his happy tune. He's singing just for you and I. And every morning when I wake up and I take a look around the world, I'm so happy just to know you're my special someone in the world, in the world. Now that the grass is growing, the meadow is overflowing, as all of the mountain water rolls down from the skies. That's how my heart fills up with you, because of the love we have so true, shining like sunlight in our eyes.
Welcome, Jeanie.
Hello there.
Jeanie, so tell us the story of how you met the jazz guitarist Coleman Mellett.
Well, we have to go back to 1996, and we were both at the Cape May Jazz Festival. Neither one of us was performing as one of the featured artists, but we were there for the jam session, which was always a lot of fun. It was the Sunday after the festival. So I was at the festival, and Coley was there. He was up on stage, and he started playing, and I had to kind of work my way through the crowd to get close to the stage to really see and hear him. He was really quite something. I mean, he looked like a kid. I mean, he was young, but he wasn't as young as he looked. And I came back to my friend and I said, yeah, he's great. And my friend said, he's really cute. And I said, yes, but he's very young, Ed. He's very young. So anyway, that's just a funny story. He came over to me after we sang together and played together. And at the end of the day, he gave me his business card and I put it on my refrigerator. And then about 2 months later, I had the opportunity to do a gig in Washington, D.C., the club down there. And then also BET Jazz we were going to do a whole hour of my Peggy Lee record. And then 3 days after that, I had a gig in Maine. So I had to hire him for like 3 gigs in a period of about 6 days. And, he said, when I asked him, he said, well, let me check my schedule, and he said he waited a beat. And I think I might be able to do those gigs. He had just graduated from college and he was going to Manhattan School of Music. So this was like, I think kind of his first big gig, but I had no idea because he was so good when I heard him. And my regular guitar player, Bob DeVoe, who I loved, wasn't available. So I hired the kid, and well, we did the gigs, and at the end of that week, we kind of thought this was something neither one of us had expected, and that's kind of when our alliance came together. So it was about a week after we really met at our gigs that we kind of knew we wanted perhaps to be together. So and we were right. We were right.
Wow. So let's go now to another song, which is just perfect for that. It's Honey Kiss.
When I get lonely, feeling so blue, she is the only one who is true. When melancholy knocks at my door, she's there to answer, and even more. She's my summer, winter, fall, spring, and everything. Sweet sugar spice, honey kiss, oh so nice. Sun shower in the month of May, every day. That's why I gotta say, never ever gonna give her up and let her go. I love her more than anyone could ever even know. Gonna wrap my arms around her, I'm so glad I found her. If everybody called me a fool, it wouldn't matter. She thinks I'm cool. If all my money were buried at sea, she wouldn't go looking. She only wants me. She's my summer, winter, fall, spring, and everything. Sweet sugar spice, honey kiss, oh so nice. Sun shower in the month of May, every day. That's why I gotta say, never ever.
So Jeanie, tell us now, this incredible love story between you and Coleman. You became life partners, music partners, and everything. Tell us now why you're releasing this album this month, why it's so important on
Well,
February 12th.
February 12th, yes. This music has been what so many of us have been praying to get out for. It'll be now 16 years since the accident that took Coley's life. And there were many ups and downs with not the music. Actually, Barry and Ron DeCesare finished the record in about a year. So basically in 2010, the record was finished. It wasn't mastered yet, but it was done. Everything was done. And it was the film that we produced alongside of the recording as we were recording, I really felt as though it was important to get the film finished so people could see the love and the camaraderie and the beautiful musical connection that all the musicians on the record had. So that's what took the long time. But here we are, 16 years later. The film is beautiful. It's done. The record is gorgeous, and it's time. And of course, February 12th is the 16th anniversary of the accident. So I chose Coley's brother Zeb and I chose to have it be on that day, so February 12th could be a day of Coley's music and loving him instead of feeling the grief that we feel on that day. It will be a day of joy because we finally got his music out there. So we're taking back the day.
Okay, let's have a listen to our next song. This is Life Goes On.
Listen close and you can hear the soulful whisper in your ear, so fine. Singing, I'll be seeing you when the moon and stars begin to shine. Life goes on, but not without the joy of Etta's song. And I can still hear her sing to you and me. From the corner of your eye, do you see the little one so sweet? Waiting there so patiently for the one who made a life complete. Time goes by, we can learn to sing a lullaby. Life goes on, but not without the joy of Etta's song. And I can still hear her sing to you and me.
Barry, welcome.
Hello.
Barry, so we've just heard Jeanie tell us about this precocious, young, very talented guitar player and falling in love with him. We've heard his music. It's pop style music, simple, easy to listen to. Tell us, what is special about the art of Coleman Mellett, and how did you get involved in this project?
It's a pleasure to be here with everyone today, by the way. What makes Coley's art so special to me is, aside from his musical skills and being able to incorporate many genres to create a personal style, there's such a positivity and intimacy that shines through all the songs, like you're sitting right next to him. And that was the first thing I noticed about his music that made it so special. Let me briefly explain how I came into this project and how it could be completed. I've known Jeanie for many years, and somewhere maybe in the early 90s, I helped her record some songs. And let me tell you, she's a serious vocalist. And one of the songs was called Natural High, which I wrote in the 1980s. And her mom, Connie, who was a great musician in her own right, she wrote the lyrics. And then around 2006, Coley heard the song and recorded an instrumental version of it on his solo guitar album of the same name. And in the next couple of years, I got to know him when he and Jeanie would come down to do some gigs in Cape May, New Jersey, where I was living at the time. And one day he asked me if I would consider to do some, to listen to some demos he was working on, and whether I'd be interested in helping him with it, and maybe even adding some keyboard parts. In January of 2009, I recorded my parts and on maybe 3 songs, and we spoke about eventually replacing all the synth rhythm section parts that were on the demo with real musicians to make an album. My wife, Elaine, and I were in San Francisco when we heard the tragic news on February 12th of 2009. And one of the first things on my mind was, this project needs to be completed. At the memorial service, Jeanie asked me if I would be interested in putting something together. And at the same time, Ron DeCesare, who had engineered Coley's solo guitar album, offered his services and the use of his New York studio that he was working at. So on March 1st of the same year, about 2.5 weeks later, Ron and I went to Jeanie and Coley's house, and retrieved whatever music files from his computer that we could. And we had no idea what we were, what we were getting into. And as it turned out, there were only a handful of demos in different stages of completion and some recorded sketches. At that point, Jeanie could have said, let's make a CD and just call it the Coleman Mellett demo recordings and just call it a day. But we were all determined to give it a try to complete the album project the way Coley had intended. Our first goal was to separate Coley's vocal and guitar tracks and strip away the synth demo stuff, which was no easy task because there were no composite vocal guitar tracks. And so we had to go through hundreds of takes to make them, to match them to the demo. And each song presented a different challenge, which I won't go into now, but Ron and I spent a couple of months doing this forensic work until we felt we had enough material to complete an album. And then the next step was to record the wonderful live musicians who donated their talent and time. Chuck Mangione, Will Lee, and Ron recorded at Ron's studio. Steve Gadd recorded in Arizona. Larry Goldings recorded, God knows where he did that. Terry Silverlight recorded his drums at his home studio. Cliff Schmidt had already recorded his bass parts before Coley passed away. James Schofield put on some beautiful guitar parts in Berlin, Germany. Natasha Roth and Jeanie recorded background vocals at my home studio. And James Taylor contributed a masterful guitar track at his home studio. And even though he wasn't asked, he added fantastic background vocals to the song Come On Home. Finally, it was time for Ron and I to assemble everything and mix. And it took over a year to complete the project. And here we are 16 years later in 2025.
Okay, let's listen to our next track, which is What Are You to Me?
Sunrise, high skies, hummingbirds and butterflies, cool breeze, honeybees, morning doves and dogwood trees. This is what you are to me, all the beauty one can see. When you're near, the flowers grow, the sun comes out to melt the snow. Honeysuckle in the air, hollyhocks are everywhere. Double rainbow lilac trees, rivers run into the seas. This is what you are to me, all the beauty one can see. When you're near, the flowers grow, the sun comes out to melt the snow. Lucky me to find the one to live with all my days. Take my hand so we can sit and watch the seasons change. Sunshine, dandelions, Roma's growing on the vine. Cherry blossoms, apple trees, sun sets down into the seas. This is what you are to me, all the beauty one can see. When you're near, the flowers grow, the sun comes out to melt the snow. Lucky me to find the one to live with all my days. Take my hand so we can sit and watch the seasons change. Lucky me to find the one to live with all my days. Take my hand so we can sit and watch the seasons change.
So this brings us to our philosophical part of the conversation, and it is entitled, What Makes a Good Song? According to the liner notes to Sing You a Brand New Song, quote, Coleman Mellett's songs, like those of his beloved Steely Dan, evoke a 70s summer drive in a convertible with the top down and an AM station turned on. Chuck Mangione, for whom Coleman played, called Mellett a guy who wrote the kind of melodies I love, simple without being trite, end quote. We have been taught in school that, unlike fashion styles, good music never loses relevance. Good music, we are told, is universal and eternal. That's why even today we still get tears in our eyes when we experience Beethoven's Ode to Joy. Jeanie and then Barry, what makes a good song? What should that song make us feel?
Well, I come from a mother who was a really, really talented songwriter. So I grew up with this in my bones. And I think what I find in a song that I'm going to choose to sing is, first of all, lyrics are very important to me, very important. And Coley's lyrics, I think, are so conversational and so right that you don't even realize sometimes it's a new song. My mom and I used to say, when she'd write a bossa nova and somebody would say, well, I thought I heard that before. And it's like, no, you didn't, but it just is so right. You think you've heard it before. So for me, as a singer, that's what I look for. I look for some lyrics that have some meaning, and of course, a memorable melody. And Coley's melodies were just so easy to sing, and that is not a bad thing. It's just this perfect combination of personal, lovely lyrics and a remarkable, beautiful melody that I think makes a great song.
And Jeanie, so we don't have to make a lot of effort. In other words, when there's a great song, we kind of meet the song on its own terms. There's nothing we don't have to go out of our way.
That's kind of how I've experienced music in my life. The singers that I love and the music that I love, it just you open up and in it comes. And I think, there's certainly room for all sorts of difficult and technically challenging songs in the world. I'm not at all saying that, but for me, for my aesthetic and for what I've loved as a vocalist, Coley delivered all those things, kind of unbelievably that he was upstairs doing this on his own, but he did. I mean, I feel like every song on the record is a song that you'll carry with you, every single one.
Barry?
Yeah, I agree with everything that Jeanie just said. Everybody has a different opinion of what makes a great song. There's a lot of different, ideas about that. But for me personally, it's a song that touches me emotionally in ways that I can't express verbally. Just certain things that music touches on certain feelings, and you can try to talk about it, but it's a different kind of feeling. It's not a verbal feeling, even if it's a song that has lyrics to it. And also, I find for me, a good song is one that can be reinterpreted by other artists or be flexible enough to be reimagined, and that other people can share it in their own way, that they can add their own credible, contributions to. So, yeah, that to me is a good song.
Barry, and so when you're sitting there in the engineering studio or whatever, do you know right away, okay, this is great, or does it dawn on you later? When do you know?
I think right away. Right away. I just get a visceral a feeling. It's something that it's just instantaneous to me. Of course, I've been in music my whole life, and so I'm responsive to that. Maybe it doesn't become a hit song, but that could be a hit song or whatever.
Okay, are there any questions, comments? Anyone want to jump in here? Barry and Jeanie are here to answer your questions, hear your comments. Hi, Michael.
Hi, Simeon.
Hey, Mike.
I was both fortunate and also deeply touched by Coley's music. I knew Coley's dad, Ken, in the family. We had worked together in the technology business, and there was a group of us that were deeply moved when Coley was lost. And then the film, which I'm sure you guys and Jeanie will speak of, was released, and there was a gathering of about 300 friends and family in Silver Spring, Maryland, and I attended that. And It's almost like Barry said, I didn't have words. I had tears, but I didn't have words to describe what I just listened to. And, that captivated my heart just as it does today, just hearing the music almost for a first time.
Yes.
Thank you, Michael. Okay, so let's, there are no other questions, comments at the moment. Let's listen to our last song of the evening. This is What Are You to Me?
You know the way to make the sun shine. You know the way to make me smile. You know the way to make my gray skies blue. But when you're gone, there's all I just don't know what to do. 'Cause I wanna spend our days together. I wanna have the nighttime too. Let's walk hand in hand our whole lives through. So hurry back to me. Why don't you come on home? Come on home. Don't leave me lonely too long. Come on home, and I'll sing you a brand new song. Without you, no, this house won't be a happy home. So hurry back to me. Why don't you come on home? Come on home. Show me the way to greet the sunrise. Show me the way your garden grows. Show me the way you make my gray skies blue. So if you have to leave, I just might know what to do. 'Cause I wanna spend our life together. I wanna build a world with you. I'll be waiting for the face I love. So hurry back to me. Why don't you come on home? Come on home. Don't leave me lonely too long. Come on home, and I'll sing you a brand new song. Without you, no, this house won't be a happy home. So hurry back to me. Why don't you come on home? Come on home. Don't you leave me lonely this way. Come on home, and I'll show you a brand new day. Without you, no, this house won't be a happy home. So hurry back to me. Why don't you come on home? Come on home. Come on home. Come on home.
So we have Midori who just wrote in the chat room, can't wait to hear the whole album. Congratulations. Jeanie, final question, first to Barry and then to Jeanie. What do you wish all of us who listen to this album take away from that experience?
Just the joy of Coley's music, the positivity, as I had said before, and just the idea that it's been a long time. This music needs to be heard, and there's so many people out there I know that will really enjoy it. So I just hope that people listen to it. That's the main thing. I think they'll love it.
Jeanie?
Barry said it all. That's the goal, is to get as many people's ears listening to this beautiful, joyful, hopeful music. It's hopeful. It's filled with love.
Okay, let's see how we can buy the album. It's easy enough. It's colemanmellett.com. You can get, and then you can see the documentary that Michael was mentioning. You can find out all about Coleman, and I believe you can also get in touch with Jeanie somewhere around here. Is that right, Jeanie?
I'm not sure, but I am on Facebook. People can, I should have had this all settled. I'm not sure if there's a button on the website, but right now the whole record will be available on all the streaming platforms, wherever you get your music, Apple, Spotify, Pandora. It'll be everywhere. So that right now, that's on the 12th of February. It should be on all the platforms, and we'll take it from there.
Perfect. And I can see right now you can get, just by clicking on music at colemanmellett.com, you can go to the store and buy it online. So once again, that's colemanmellett.com. Easy enough. Thank you so very much to Jeanie Bryson and to Barry Miles.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for having us.
Thank you.
So just before we go, I'd like to mention that you can check out simeonmoro.com to find out details about all upcoming shows on Vienna Live. And while you're at it, you can put your email in and sign up for the weekly Friday greeting that I send out. So all information about upcoming shows is available at www.simeonmoro.com. Once again, thank you so very much to Jeanie Bryson and to Barry Miles. Thank you to Vienna Live sponsors, Victoria and Frederick Mulligan. Thank you to Abby Moser, Agnieszka and Benoit Rivolet, and Mary Schlesinger for their support of this show. Thanks to my cousin Mike, a marketer from Layer App. If you're an architect or an engineer, they have a really cool tool you should check out. Most of all, thanks to you, our participants who make it all worthwhile. From New York City, New York, and Washington, D.C., goodbye, and see you next Wednesday.
Bye.